Hi, this is Misha, and a couple of weeks ago we did a teaser preview video on this gun here. At the time we said we weren't able to get out and really shoot it because rain. It's raining again today. It has been for the last couple of weeks. However, we had about a 48-hour break where we could get out to the range, and so we took a Monday off and did that. And we're going to bring you our initial review of the Romanian Nova NAK-9 NAK-9 9mm pistol, imported by Century Arms International, the folks who bring you the Wasser 10 and other Romanian guns like the Draco. Hence why this says Draco on the side. Also out, we took two of these with us, is the earlier Romanian Nova PAK-9. And these have been imported by Chiappa, the Italian company. Also a 9mm pistol. Both of these loosely based on the Kalashnikov, the AK. Alright, let's just cut to the chase. In video 1 we kind of went more into detail, so check that out. How did this guy do? We put about 600 rounds through it, and the reason we stopped there was it was boringly reliable. We had no failures using both Korean and factory Glock mags. We were mostly shooting Wolf. We had a few other types of ammo, but we figured steel case Wolf would be about what most people would plink in it, and that's what we do a lot with. And a lot of your manufacturers today will test fire using Wolf, so it seemed like a good thing. It worked. That's about all we can say. I mean, it ran really well. Recoil was a little bit lighter than on the PAK-9. No parts breakages. We did do some changes to it. We have a Romanian aimer style flash hider. Even though this is technically for 30 cal, it's so oversized for that 9mm passes through it very, very easily. It's actually still larger than the bore by about a ½ millimeter on each side, so it's perfectly safe. Got our combo here. We got our fake gas tube with our Bakelite upper handguard, because why not? We've got this WBP tri-rail lower from Poland. Typical ladder rail covers on the side. We've got a Magwell angled foregrip, since a standard foregrip is not legal on a quote-unquote pistol. We've got a short-ranged 500 or 400, I think it's 400 meter rear sight. A small pick rail on the dust cover. This has the Glock Magwell Adapter in it. It'll also take the Beretta Magwell. This is the pistol grip it came with, standard Romanian grip. And as you've noticed, we've got a arm brace, quote unquote, on here. This is from US Machinegun, and I'm actually very happy with how it worked out. It's a couple of pieces of fair. It's a brace here. Sorry guys if I can't fold it on the first attempt. It is still very stiff, as these are wont to be. And it's getting a little looser after a few hundred rounds. Folding brace, as you see. We have an adapter in the back. Pretty small plate that uses the existing hole where the sling swivel was. Then 2 screws hold on the folding mechanism, which uses AR buffer tube screws. It has a small set screw on top to hold the tube on, as well as a castle nut. And then we have a dimpled Shockwave tube with a Shockwave folding brace, as you see. What I like about this over older generations from US Machinegun and other folding brace adapters, we are adding very little length to the back when folded. Less than 2 inches. I'd say 1.5 inches really, with both adapters on. That's pretty good. Also, this is made out of a relatively lightweight alloy. It does not add much at all weight to your gun, even the whole assembly. So it gives you the brace adapter without extra length and weight. Sorry guys, I'm at a weird angle here on this thing. And so we found that actually quite nice. We were hoping to have the Shockwave version to try out by the time we got to the range, but unfortunately they weren't quite in stock at the time. I got the call the day after for the Shockwave. So we will show you their version in an upcoming video. But I really do like using the hole in the back. It's a little more secure, and you're not putting something between your pistol grip. And it even has a little bit of a lip on the side to keep it from rotating. It's even inletted and kind of mounts around your bottom rivet to keep it tight. This plate is very secure with just one screw based on how it is shaped. It's a very convenient size gun. Of course, you can adjust this however it's convenient for you. And this is just a neat little quote-unquote pistol. Still not very big, especially with the brace folded. Firing a nice little cartridge with very little recoil thanks to the 11-inch barrel. And while we had it out, we brought out the PAK-9. This is actually one out of my store inventory. It's in very much stock configuration. You also see us firing Jay's PAK-9 that he has an SB tactical brace on. It has the bottom plate. One reason he's not crazy about it, and actually after shooting yesterday, he wants to get one of these US Machinegun adapters. This pistol grip is kind of unique to this gun, and it overlaps on the side here up a bit and in the back here a bit. Because of the way it's done, it fits the gun a little tighter, a little more securely, which is nice for a pistol. Gives a little more support. It's also finger grooved and a little bit larger. And I like how it has kind of a vertical texturing reminiscent of a Tokarev or some of the flare guns that came out of Eastern Europe. It's a better grip for a pistol, but because of how it attaches, you cannot use the plate style that goes between the pistol grip. So that's why on his, you'll see he had to take that grip off and put on a generic AK grip so he could use his standard SB adapter. But since he will just be using the hole in the back left by the sling swivel when you unscrew it, it's just a nut here. You just get a thin wrench and unscrew it, and it's threaded inside. You can screw on an adapter like this or the one coming from Shockwave and keep your original pistol grip, which is something Jay's looking forward to. This also takes Glock mags. Jay just had his muzzle threaded on his PAK-9 and put a slant brake on. Mine's still, point this at you, bare, but it threads very easily, 14 by 1, and it even has the hole in the front sight base for installing a detent. So the threading process was exceedingly simple, easy. Otherwise, this is the same gun in the rear, but instead of having the 11.1 inch barrel of the NAK-9, this has about a 6.1. Some sources claim 5.9, some claim 6.3. It doesn't really matter, right around 6 inches. So it's just over 50% of this one. So because of the shorter barrel and shorter forend, it has a little more flip, especially when fired like a PDW like mine here. It wants to kind of veer up like that. It's a little jumpier, but still not unpleasant. We talked about a few other minor differences, like how they updated the Magwell system in these. Now, one thing a viewer asked me to check out, I will do it now, are the buffers, and there actually is a minor difference in the buffers in these. Here is the original. See? And here is the one from the slightly newer NAK. Come on out. Now if you see, in the rear, they're the same, but in the front they made a small change. This, while it's dimpled here, is solid. This is cut back. I'm showing this because a viewer asked about it. He said that when he got his PAK-9, this was already kind of cracked in this area here. So it must be a stress point when you have that bolt coming back and hitting the thing. But since this one's already completely relieved, that shows that they don't believe that needs to be a complete bridge. So that seems to be the new solution, and that just kind of cutting away a stress point. And this isn't so much truly a recoil buffer as such. It's just a spacer to keep your bolt from coming back too far and jumping off the rails. So its job is just really to be there. I've read forum accounts of where people broke or lost these or just wanted to. Sorry about that spring in there. Let's take it out. It's easier to do. Or not. I've read of accounts of people just using the regular recoil buffers that fit in the back here and putting a couple of them to keep the bolt. It's just to keep the bolt from going back. The nice thing is it's absolutely not fancy. It's just a hard block. A person could easily machine out of any kind of metal they wanted, or even wood. If a person had wood carving skills and a little time, you could make something out of wood that would suffice, because it's literally just a block. So while this is a proprietary part, and I've read some concerns about it, personally I wouldn't be, because it would be easy to manufacture even at home. And again, this really isn't showing any wear after 600 rounds. Jay's isn't showing any wear after 1,000 rounds. And this gun here has only been fired, really just test fired, but in about 100 rounds it's not showing anywhere. So it doesn't seem to be a commonly breaking high wear part. But just in case that does worry you, I personally wouldn't stress too much over it. Otherwise, all three of these Nova made 9mm have proven to be very fun guns. I think Jay and I are a little differing in opinions. He still prefers the PAK. I think I'm more inclined towards the NAK. Then again, I've always kind of liked longer barrels, and I like that this already comes pre-threaded and takes standard handguards and has a little bit less felt recoil just for having a heavier front end. It also just looks more AK-ish, but that's just me. Oh, and I like the new Magwell system with the retaining pin here and so on and so forth. But yeah, our initial review is very positive. Again, the only negative I could say is the price. These are quite a bit higher. They're about $700 factory new right now, whereas the Chiappa guns are about $450 new. So, you know, is it worth an extra $250, $200 at the very least? Only you can decide. It depends if you really want to use standard handguards and want a threaded barrel. It's also worth saying these come with the Beretta Magwell Adapter as default, although Chiappa does sell the Glock one for about 30 bucks, and they drop in seconds. These do come straight with the Glock Magwell, which is nice. This also comes with a 33 round extended Korean mag that worked very well for us. It was a little stiffer and a little less smooth than the Glock one. We took a Glock out as well, but it worked perfectly. Whereas these come with two Beretta mags, but they are knockoffs and they only hold 10 rounds, and I've read reports online of the quality being pretty bleh. So I would say the mags this comes with shouldn't be counted on, but the one Korean this comes with seems to be good to go. So you get a little extra value in the mag area, a little extra value in the handguard and barrel area, and of course you get a longer barrel, which should lead to a little better accuracy. So it's up to you. I think if Century can work something out where they can put a folding brace on here, maybe make their own adapter or contract with Stormworks or US Machinegun, I think these would do very, very well. Kind of like what IWI has done with the Uzi Pro that comes with the brace. And a lot of other manufacturers besides. But we'll keep testing this out especially, but also working with the PAK-9 because it just kind of seems right to bring both out. So far, so good. By the way, these actually have quite nice triggers in them. And the bolts are quite smooth. They really seem nicely made. The PAK-9 seems a little better fit and finish, but the NAK is no slouch. I think if I keep this one, I'm going to leave it kind of as a PDW like this, kind of a la MP5K. Because if you're going to go small, go small. Well, for more info, check out our part 1. And I'm sure we'll do a 3 as time goes by. And as always, if you like AKs, we have not an insignificant number of other AK type videos. So if you want, check those out. We'd appreciate it. If you like the video, please click like. And if you have any questions or comments, we sincerely welcome them below. And finally, if you'd like to help support us, get to the range a little more often, have a few more guns here and there to show you, please think about checking out our Patreon page. We try to give some benefits and whatnot for even $1 tier, because every dollar truly does help. This is Misha, and we'll catch you next time.